In the Silver Age of comics, DC started to publish a long-running series called Superman's Girlfriend Lois Lane, which focused on the eponymous Lois and her undiagnosed BPD exploits. Though issue 20 opened with a story that focused more on Superman himself called Superman's Flight from Lois Lane. It begins with Lois kicking Clark out of a plane prematurely, with the next panel revealing that if he couldn't fly, Lois would be guilty of murder. Realizing that there are consequences to her actions, Lois contemplates the rest of her life being used as the bike of B-Wing, as Clark's body makes a man-shaped hole in the ground like a Roadrunner cartoon. Fed up of Lois avoiding responsibility for her manslaughtering tendencies, Clark decides to do what he should have done a long time ago.
Stuck on this.
No, instead he flies so fast that it sends him back in time to before he met Lois. Imagine knowing that the one you love broke the unbreakable time barrier just to get away from you. Instead of going back in time to stop Egin, he applies for a job at a radio station. Clark cinches the job by using his X-ray vision to read 500 record titles. Mistaking Clark for being on the spectrum, the station owner hires Clark to fill a diversity quota. Clark's co-workers are pleased to see how well he is doing as a disc jockey, and compared to other disc jockeys who started getting big at this time period, they're happy that they won't be appearing in a documentary decades later, where they have to lie and say that they knew he was a bad one from the start.
No one.
Things are looking up for Clark until Breakfast at Tiffany's here tries to uncover his secret identity with Aldi brand perfume, thinking that she will be able to smell it on Superman, since she was planning on getting close enough to smell Superman's hair like all true stalkers trying to get their names immortalized on some sort of register. Superman uses the sun to get rid of the offending odor and all is well. But she isn't done with Superman yet.
Wouldn't you like to see me out of my head? Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be fabulous? I'm having a good time.
Enjoying life without women to pester him, Clark reaches a state of bliss with the MGTOW life. Though I wonder if in this state he's forgotten what he's playing over the radio. Without consulting Clark, the radio station gives Lois a blank check to hover around Clark day and night, which drives Clark to abandon his dream job as a disc jockey, and he uses his time travel powers that the writers liberally let him use in the Silver Age to go back to the status quo. Again, instead of doing more with it, like tripping Jeffrey Dahmer's pregnant mother down the stairs. Back in the status quo universe, Clark finds out that the Breakfast at Tiffany stalker got fat in this reality, and so he dodged a metaphorical kryptonite-coated bullet, proving that Captain Hero he is not.
'Cause you're fat, and nobody likes fat chicks. Whee!
Dude, I like fat chicks.
It's a living.
Queerest of all, the people are all imperfect doubles of Superman and Lois Lane, living in a world where everything is the opposite of things on Earth. Us go see Western movie where bad men win. If only Bizarro World came to Earth at the time this comic was published, they would be ahead of the curve on Sam Peckinpah. In the next issue, Lois and Lana Lang gain superpowers. They vow to help humanity, protect the innocent, and uphold truth, justice. No, I'm just kidding. They have a titanic catfight over who will get to marry Superman. Lois and Lana meet up while covering the same news story and trade passive-aggressive compliments with each other about jewelry that Superman gave them. At this point, I suspect that Superman is playing them against each other for a super laugh. Lana and Lois decide to take some R&R on the Lake of the Cavern, caring not if this lake has any sinkholes or harmful bacteria, while delivering convenient dialogue about the lake possibly being magic. The military tests out a missile on the cavern, destroying a site which might have some cultural significance if there's a well-known legend surrounding it. But then again, that hasn't stopped the US Army before. Even worse, swimming in that lake gave Lois and Lana superpowers. They decide that the most responsible thing to do with these powers is to compete for Superman's hand in marriage, with Superman looking like he's contemplating lying about being gay. Lana finds undersea jewelry which belonged to Helen of Troy. Instead of delivering it to a museum and creating a breakthrough of historical understanding by proving that the Trojan War happened, she plays dress up with it, thinking that this would somehow impress the Man of Steel, only for Superman to shame her for dressing like a tacky skank. Not learning from Lana, Lois thinks that dressing like Cleopatra is a surefire way to win Superman's heart. I now think that the lake must have affected their mental capacities. In response, Superman trolls Lois by saying that he hates her green outfit because it reminds him of kryptonite, even though she was previously wearing green anyway. The dysfunctional duo then make Mount Rushmore versions of themselves, thinking that mountainous idols to their equally mountainous egos will send Superman head over heels in love with them. That lake must have affected their memories because it's like they know nothing about Superman's personality. These two grown women then scrap with each other as if that's going to make Superman fall in love with anyone other than his own right hand. The world breathes a sigh of relief as the effects of the lake wear off and the codependent couple lose their powers. To add insult to injury, the master troll we know and love says he'll one day marry the woman with the initials LL, knowing that they both have the same initials. He jokes that at least he won't marry Lex Luthor, but if there's anything Superman should have learned from this whole sordid affair, it's that he would be better off marrying Jimmy Olsen, having Perry White as his side bitch, and railing Lex Luthor on weekends.